Welcome to day 30 of Michael Keaton Month, where I'll be reviewing all the movies that Michael Keaton has appeared in. We're almost there. Today is in fact the 31st day. I've just managed to catch up and I'm just doing this review now for the movie, which is The Other Guys. This came out on the 6th of August 2010. Stars Will Ferrell and Mark Whalberg as the titular characters of The Other Guys. It's a cop movie, buddy cop movie. We have Samuel L. Jackson and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson playing these two hotshot cops who, this is kind of spoiling things, but if you haven't seen this movie and that's a selling point for you, I should probably mention it. They're not actually in the movie that much, and the final scene that they do appear in is ridiculous and hilarious and awesome, and I loved it. And we never get to see those characters without their sunglasses on, so they're like super cool, not very good cops, but they just like destroy the city. I think just chasing like a minor kind of, a minor criminal. But you know, they're like the big hot shots, and then you got the other guys, Mark Whalberg and Will Ferrell, who, Mark Wahlberg's character, Alan Gamble, he was, on the way to becoming a big shot in the police force, but he accidentally shot a guy at a baseball match, which is, this movie is very silly. And again, if I actually told you what that Samuel L. Jackson and Rock scene was, then you'd know how ridiculous this movie is. Whereas Will Ferrell's character is Alan Gamble. Sorry, I read that wrong. Mark Wahlberg's character's name is Terry Hoyts. But Alan Gamble, Will Ferrell's character, he's kind of an accountant kind of thing, or he's not an accountant, but he just does all the paperwork and stuff. He hasn't really gone out and done stuff as a police officer, but he kind of ends up teaming up with Terry, and they become really kind of, not even friends, but they become affiliated with each other, let's say. And their Captain Gene is played by Michael Keaton, who's hilarious in this movie. But generally Will Ferrell movies are hit and miss for me. I've never been the hugest fan of his stuff. I arrived really late to the whole kind of Anchorman thing, and I like Blades of Glory and Step Brothers and a few other movies that he's done, but generally I'm not like one of those people who loves everything that he touches. But he's very good in this, and Mark Whalberg, who knew, is really funny, and I guess this kind of paved the way for him doing Ted, and people could see that Mark Whalberg actually has got really good comedic timing, and there's just loads of great kind of actors in this movie. You've got Eva Mendes plays Alan's wife, which again, it just seems ridiculous, and that's part of the joke, I guess. We've got Steve Coogan, Alan Partridge himself. He plays kind of a guy who's kind of been fucking around with money, basically, and he's kind of the villain of the movie, I guess you could say, but not really. David Ershon, and that's the case that they're trying to investigate, but they just keep getting pushed back and back by, by the force and everything, and so it's just a case they got to solve, without actually doing it through the proper channels and stuff. And it's just really funny. Some great moments in the movie. Again, Michael Keaton's just really, there's the fact that Michael Keaton is the captain of the police force, but he also has a second job at Bed Bath & Beyond, which is just hilarious to me. And he says on one of the special features on the Blu-ray, he says that when he read that joke, the fact that the police captain also worked at Bed Bath & Beyond, he said, if that's the only joke I get to play in the whole movie, I'm in, And I agree, because it's a great little scene where he's kind of turning around and he's like, right, and he's like addressing all the employees, but at first you think he's giving a talk to all the cops, but he's just giving a kind of a motivational speech to his employees at Bed Bath & Beyond. There's another great scene where they go out drinking and they just go mental for a night, Mark Whalberg and Will Ferrell, and it's just a really great shot. It's like a one shot in a bar, and it's 3D images, I think. You kind of pan around the bar and you see them in various stages of the night, with beer flying everywhere, but it's like frozen, and it's almost like a kind of really cool 3D effect. It looks great, This is a case of me where I think CGI is good, because it was just a really, really impressive shot. Firing their guns off and all this kind of stuff, doing cocaine. It was a hilarious shot as well. It was funny and really good. There's a lot of CGI in the movie, I've read, and I can't believe this, that the budget was $100 million. Surely that cannot be right, IMDb. I really don't get that, but apparently they gross more than that in America alone anyway, so I'm sure with worldwide grosses they made a profit off this movie. I'm sure the marketing cost a lot of money as well. But yeah, a lot of CGI in the film, but it is what it is. There's some good action though, and some of it is physical as well. There's a great, just a really small moment in the movie where a guy's on a bike and he gets hit by another helmet, and he just crashes his bike into a car and flips over it, and you can tell it's real, you know. A lot of people just use a CGI body double which looks horrendous, but you could tell that was a real stuntman who really got smashed into this car. The story's not brilliant, you know, and it's not my favourite comedy, but I do really enjoy it. I love the recurring theme of, of Captain Gene kind of quoting TLC songs. He's talking to the guys, he's like, no, don't go chasing waterfalls, and then like, you just reference a TLC song, and he's like, I don't get the reference, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then later on he's like, I don't want no scrubs. And they're like, seriously, you know this is a screen? He's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. It's really, really funny. And there's also a feature on the Blu-ray where the director talks about you know, being a big fan of Keaton's, and the scene where he's given his employees that address at the Bed Bath & Beyond store. He said we probably could have edited that into like a 30-minute scene, because they just kept feeding him stuff to work off, and he was just, you know, improvising. You know, Keaton is, you know, started as a stand-up comedian, and there's a lot of those cuts on that 5-minute feature that are just hilarious, where he just takes it and just keeps running with it, and it's brilliant. But yeah, other guys, it's a good movie. I enjoy it. It's cool to see Keaton in there. I guess it's really one of his bigger main roles, probably his most mainstream role in about 5 years at this point in 2010, since I'd say White Noise in 2005. So he's actually appeared in a big movie. And I remember at the time people were saying, oh, it's great to see Michael Keaton still acting. You know, he's come back and he's still funny. He's always been funny and he's always been acting. It's just a lot of people haven't seen his, you know, lesser scene work and independent stuff, and The Merry Gentleman, the great film that he directed. But, you know, I will admit that I hadn't seen any of them either until now, which is, you know, a good reason for me to kind of say to other people, he's done all these other movies that are great too, and you should watch them. So that's it for the other guys. No interesting trivia, to be honest with you, and you know, there's not too much to say about the other guys, but it's really funny, and I enjoyed it a lot. Also, tomorrow, or today pretty much, because I'm filming this on the 31st of October, the next video will be the final video. It was only going to be one movie, but it just so turns out that another movie that he starred in this year just came out and is available to watch, so it's going to be a double bill to finish off the whole Michael Keaton month. I hope you join me for that. 2 very different movies, and thank you for watching this one.
Probably the nicest group of people I've ever worked with, and not nice like sickening nice, like just authentically, genuinely nice people, and so much fun to hang around. And that's what I knew, that's what I figured was going to happen. So that's basically why. And how about Whalberg, man? Who knew Whalberg was this funny? I mean, you know, maybe a lot of people did. I didn't know that. And great, those guys were so fun to work with. I mean, everybody was, Ferrell and all those guys, you know, Damon. I mean, we just laughed. Yeah, it's huge, man. I mean, it's a real deal. It's an action movie. It's a full-on, you know, Will, Mark, and a bunch of us, mostly Will and Mark and Sam and Dwayne, you know, in big action scenes, legitimate, you know, full-on action scenes.
The new bath mats are in.
His second job was working at Bed Bath & Beyond. When they told me that, I thought, if that's the only joke I get to play in it, I'm in.
One more thing. We got a serial rapist in Crown Heights. Oh, jeez, I'm sorry. That's from my other job. Travis, can I say something? It's Bed Bath & Beyond. When you start going on about Mormons and religion, don't do it. That's not what Beyond means. It's Bed Bath and maybe soap. Think of it like this: Bed Bath and a little bit beyond. You know what I mean? Just not out there. Please stop talking about your near-death experience on the Staten Island ferry, okay? That white light shit, that just scares people. That's not what the Beyond means. It's Bed Bath and Beyond. That's it. Not Bed Bath and I saw a light and my mom came back screaming at me to clean my room and that shit. Don't do that, okay? That just puts people down. Yeah, you know, it's not right to point at people in front of everybody, but I'm going to anyway. Tony, people know how loofahs work, Tony, all right? Don't unwrap the thing, clean your back off and go, see? And then try to sell the thing to the guy. And somebody told me, you said, hey, look, it's the Bill O'Reilly model. It's bullshit. Don't do that. We'll get in trouble for that in lawsuits and shit. That whisk seminar has been canceled. I know, I'm disappointed too. Oh yeah, here's another thing. I don't know who's been throwing out the garbage cans. We sell them. By the way, if somebody comes in and he looks even remotely like a gangbanger, don't sell them knives. Just don't do it. And spatulas. Don't hand the spatulas like that. Don't have peace. Somebody's going to have to eat off that thing, okay? Some little kid's going to lick some cake batter up. H1N1. That's all I got to say. Say no more. Let's get out there and get him. Come on! Do me a favor.